Hello, and welcome back to the Peanut. My name is Parker Taft, and today we are doing another Deep Stash inspired video. Today we're talking about fixed versus growth mindsets. Now, I'm not sure many of you have probably heard the term fixed and growth mindset, but do you really know the difference between the two and how each of them are defined? I didn't until I read these articles and researched for this video, so today that's what we'll be discussing. To begin with, a fixed mindset is when someone believes that basic abilities or attributes are fixed talents that cannot be improved. So basically, a person is a math person, there's a dance person, there's an athletic person. It's their natural innate abilities and has nothing to do with developing their skills. And that their success in any particular field will go in with math comes natural to them. And excuses on why we aren't good at that particular field typically start out as, I'm not a math person, or it's hard for me, I'm not a natural, or I'm lazy or procrastinator. It's the I'm not or I am statements, which reflect a fixed mindset that, it's finite, that you are what you are. When you come into this world, you're given certain natural talents and abilities, and that's it. That's all you have for the rest of your life. And now you have to go around making people think that you're smarter than what you are and not looking like a fool. Often by not asking questions, which can lead to even more awkward and foolish circumstances down the road. But it is people's own choice to remain ignorant. A growth mindset, on the other hand, is when someone believes that they can develop their talents and abilities through effort, learning, and persistence. A good example of a growth mindset is someone who is bad at math yet continuously is working to get better through tutoring, etc., and ending up in honors with the highest grades, or the athlete who keeps going out on the court or field and practicing despite lacking natural talent and ends up the star player of the team by senior year. That is a growth mindset, someone who is focused on the process, not the end result. Whereas a fixed mindset, you're focused on the end result, which is success, or in most people's cases, avoiding looking ignorant, stupid, or embarrassing oneself. That is typically the end goal. And then success is the cherry on top. And a lot of people think that success should come naturally to them, whereas the people with a growth mindset think that it is something they have to work towards and work through the process of, getting better, failing, starting again, working up, hitting that wall, finding new ways to improve themselves, and eventually getting over those hurdles towards their end goal and success. Carol Dweck, who wrote a magnificent book on the subject of growth and fixed mindsets called Mindset, which I highly recommend people to read or listen to. I believe the audiobook is on YouTube, said this in a Stanford address to a graduating class at Stanford. In it, she said, in a fixed mindset, students believe their basic abilities, their intelligence, their talents are just fixed traits. They have a certain amount, and that's that. And then their goal becomes to look smart all the time and never look dumb. In a growth mindset, students understand that their talents and abilities can be developed through effort, good teaching, and persistence. They don't necessarily think everyone's the same, or anyone can be Einstein, but they believe anyone can get smarter if they work at it. An admirable goal, but how do we actually develop these mindsets? And how can we change these mindsets if we're already ingrained in them? I know for years and years, I said, I'm not a math person. Math was not my strongest subject. But yet somehow I ended up in honors math, and I found myself with a good case of imposter syndrome. Like I didn't really deserve to be there, and I had no clue how I got there. And during the first couple of years of me in honors math, my grades suffered as a result. And, it wasn't horrible. Low 90s, high 80s. Grades that most kids would probably kill for in other circumstances. But I saw it as something lacking in myself and that I lacked the natural talent in math. And then I found a wonderful, wonderful math tutor in 8th grade who gave me a greater confidence in my skills. Sadly, that didn't carry through, and so my 9th grade year but I was beset by the same anxieties and fixed mindset, which correspondingly led to my grades to suffer in ninth grade. And then sophomore year, I finally buckled down. I said I'll get another math tutor to help keep my grades up, and with the help of another wonderful math tutor and continually working hard, I was able to bring up my math grade. And this past year in pre-calculus, I ended up graduating with a 100 average in it, thanks to both a wonderful math teacher and the continued help of my sophomore year math tutor. Wonderful people, and taught me the valuable lesson of to keep trying. Even if you fail the first time, keep trying, keep working at it. You can find the solution. So that's my personal experience with the battle between a fixed and a growth mindset. Here's a nice little graphic I found in one of the articles showing the specifics between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Just a little visual to help you guys conceptualize what we're talking about. So, fixed mindset, intelligence is static. Growth mindset, intelligence can be developed. Leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to. Leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to. Challenges. Avoid challenges, embrace challenges. Obstacles. Give up easily, persist in the face of setbacks. Effort. Sees effort as fruitless or worse. Sees effort as the path to mastery. Criticism. Ignore useful negative feedback. Learns from criticism. Success of others. Feels threatened by the success of others. Finds lessons and inspiration in the success of others. As a result, they may plateau early and achieve less than their full potential. All this confirms a deterministic view of the world. All this gives them a greater sense of free will. As a result, they reach ever higher levels of achievement. So, a deterministic view of the world is basically that everything is predetermined. That what we'll achieve is what we'll achieve. And everything is a fixed asset. Kind of like the way people and this is a history tangent, in the mercantile system thought that all the resources of the world were finite. And that for one nation to get more gold or coal or diamonds, they had to steal it, or the territory that contained it, from another country, leading to many wars. And then we have Adam Smith and capitalism, and we see for the first time the mass production, creating a abundance economy where whereas before the only way to get your resources more resources was to steal from them. Now you could make more. You could turn the coal into energy, which could be used to produce yards and yards of yarn from only a couple dozen of sheep, whereas before it would have taken months to weave the yarn, and it would have been an exorbitant cost. And the only way you could have gotten more yarn was to get more sheep, whereas now the factory was more efficient. And then we saw the slow evolution of our economy into the service economy that we have today. So a little economic history there on the side, but it goes to show you and it helps highlight the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Capitalism, grow. If there's a demand for something, someone will reach out find a more efficient method to manufacture or provide a particular service, and will grow, dominate the industry. And when they no longer do that, the customers will leave, they will collapse, and a new competitor will come up to take their place with more efficient methods and a quicker and more mass-produced items. Whereas a fixed mindset is everything's finite, and the only way I can get a bigger market share is to take over that company, or the only way I can expand our country's economic influence is to invade another country and steal all their mining resources. So it's an excellent highlight and a good history lesson. So how you develop these mindsets? Well, actions influence belief, which in turn influence future action. So, for example, a person who develops a fixed mindset would fail a math test and think, that then they're not a math person, which will make it harder for them to do well in the next math test because of mental roadblock. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. So you have to work harder or something like that. And all of a sudden, you don't do well in the next math test. So it reinforces your belief that you're not good at math, which leads you to believing that not doing well in the next math test, which will then lead you to not doing well in the next math test, which will reinforce your belief that you're not good at math, which will make you believe even more that you're not going to do well in the next test, which will make you do even worse in the next test, and so forth and so on, in a cascading effect. Whereas a growth mindset will be someone who's focused on the process rather than the end goal. You want to get into the habit of running, so you start, and your main goal is to be regular running. Soon you will start to improve, and as you improve, you raise your goals, growing better over time. You're going to start out small. I want to run for 10 minutes. And you run for 10 minutes, and you do that for 4 days a week, rain or shine, and then you start to improve. So you say, all right, I'll run for 15 minutes, and you do that for another 4 weeks, 4 days a week, and you will start to grow and get better. Whereas a fixed mindset would say, oh, I'm not improving after your first week of running 10 minutes a day. So you're like, all right, it's not worth my time. Or in the case of math, you fail a math test, so you say, oh, okay, what did I did wrong? How can I learn from this? So you go into the teacher, you get math tutor, you study harder for the next math exam. You go in and get extra help before the exam, and then you go in and you do well, and it's like, I learned from my mistake. I have improved. And then next, gradual improvement over a long period of time is more reliable way of improving yourself than rapid transformational method. This ties in more with the growth influence mind, but many of us take for granted the rapid transformation. The person who, loses 30 pounds in a month, or a person who, goes from couch to running a 5K in the span of 2 or 3 weeks. Now, those are exceptional and wonderful, but they're not overly realistic, especially for those who lack the motivation and the staying power to commit to those rapid transformations. Because in order to have a rapid transformation, you have to first know what you're doing, so most likely prior experience beforehand. And second, the will to carry it out. Whereas gradual improvement over time compounds. It's like compounding interest. You start at, $1, and then it doubles every day. You'll be really rich by the end of the month. Same thing with gradual improvement. You should focus on building a positive self-image of yourself in your particular area of struggle. Let's say math. Focusing on showing up and sticking to it. You show up and you stick to doing the math problems. You show up to your tutor, your math teacher every day, and you do the math problems that are difficult for you. No matter how many times that you fail or dislike doing it, you do it. You focus on doing the problems rather than the results of whether they're right or wrong. Because being driven by results creates a fixed mindset where all you pursue is results. And when you don't see them, when you want to, you get disheartened and quit sabotaging yourself. Whereas in a growth mindset, you will see you're growing and improving. You will immerse yourself in the process of understanding the math. And by diffusion, over time, you will get better at math. Sometimes without even you realizing it. And by the end, you'll be far better than you would if you went through a rapid transformation of, going from failing to an A student in a week, or pulling an all-nighter. So, what's some actionable advice we can take away from this? Well, first, it's your daily actions that will change what you believe about yourself and the person you become. Focus on the process. Focus on showing up, on sticking to the schedule, on not quitting. This is from James Clear, the article that actually inspired this video. And then, second, do small actions every day towards your goal, which will over time compound and lead to increased confidence in yourself and the eventual achievement of your goal, often far and above what you expected. And it'll surprise you how well and how fast you achieve it once you start focusing on the process rather than the end goal. So, That's it for today. As always, here's my sources and further reading. I will also leave them in the description below. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the PNN Broadcast, signing off.